It's a Sunday morning, you're going to the grocery store to prep your meals for the next few days, and then you see this dude in a black suit and tie start approaching you. He has shades on. You're not sure what he wants. He's black too. So when he comes up to you, you realize it's Will freaking Smith. You're like, oh shoot, Will, hey, what's up, Will? He pulls out a device, boom! Your memory, gone. You have no idea what has happened. You have no idea who you are. And all that you know is you're skinny. You're skinny as hell. You're skin and bones. So here's what I would do if I lost all of my physique gains and I had to gain it all back again in a year. Here's what I would do. Okay, so Will Smith just freaking wiped your memory and you have no idea what's going on. You can't even be pissed because you don't even know what just happened to you. You got outplayed. And let's say the worst thing were to happen to me and I become the old version of myself again. Not just skin and bones, but the traits that I had developed with it. Now, I'm not going to elaborate any further, but just to get a little background on what you know about me, I used to be addicted to video games. I played constantly, 10 hours plus a day, and I was excessively fantasizing inside my head, and that's what we call like daydreaming or maladaptive daydreaming. I never really took accountability or responsibility for my own actions, and I try to stay out of touch. I was out of touch with the reality through video games, anime, fantasizing about my anime role models or whoever I want to be, like a hero, some corny stuff like that, right? But that's what held me back. Now, if I were to do it all over again, though, that's not the video. How to get lean and muscular, like just through raw information. Here's how I'd organize it in this video so that you can fast track your way to getting lean and muscular, okay? You can make some pretty good progress in less than a year. I'm not guaranteeing that you're going to get your dream physique in less than a year, but it is stupid simple. And this was my before picture. This was 2 years ago, and I settled. I had built some muscle there. I think I just atrophied, and I stopped training consistently. And this is when I truly locked in, not 100%. I would say like through my sleep, my nutrition, I could have been in a lean bulk. So if you follow these things in the video that I tell you, I have 3 things that I got to tell you. And if you follow these 3 things to the T, you're going to maximize your genetic potential. And this video is assuming that you're skinny. So if you're looking for getting lean and muscular from a losing weight standpoint, I have another video on that, okay? So you can just look through my YouTube channel. It's how to deal with fat loss plateaus. So take a look at that video. Hope it helps, okay? But the big 3 are strength training, tracking your calories, and tracking your progression and listen weight. Now, immediately, you can click off this video and, oh, I've heard this information before, but how come you've never done it, right? How come you've never made it happen? And that's the reason why you're watching this video, because you were curious. You were curious on what he had to say, and you were curious how it could be done. So if you're actually motivated and you're actually willing to learn what's in this video, it's going to be really quick, then continue watching. If you don't, that's the reason why you're not seeing the results that you want. So click away from this video if you're not willing to take notes, or at least do the actionable steps that I give you in this video in order to take action and truly change your life for the better, okay? So the first one's strength training. So what does that mean? Everyone tells you to hit the gym, right? 3 to 4 days a week. You don't have to be too much without spending hours in the gym, right? So typically what I've done throughout the past 2 years is I've trained 2 times a week for my upper body days. But in general, to maximize my genetic potential, I want to look good full body. I want to look good naked, right? So it's either a full body split or an upper lower split. I'm just going to only explain the general things. I'm not going to get too much into the breakdown of what a full body split, what an upper lower split is, what is more optimal. It just depends on what works for you, what works with your schedule, your work, if you got kids, things like that, right? And I would recommend that you select plenty of exercises that cover in a full body or upper lower body split 3 sets. This allows you to spend less than 60 minutes in the gym, and I want you to train to near failure on these sets, on these exercises, because that's going to allow you to maximize your muscle growth without kind of significantly reducing your performance. Because if you're always pushing to failure, then you're going to just be tired throughout the rest of the workout, and it's not going to be as productive as if you kept reps in reserve. So I would recommend keeping 1 to 3 reps in reserve, trying to aim for your target rep range. Like let's say you're bench pressing 6 to 10, You want to try to hit that 10, but if you're consistently hitting that 10, you need to up the weight in order to, maximize your gains. Number 2, you're going to track your calories and eat slightly above a maintenance. So this is what we call a lean bulk. This is what we call a slight surplus. Main gaining, you can do that. Eat in a maintenance. I'm going to be honest, the first 4 years, I still built muscle despite eating in a deficit, because if you're a beginner in the gym, you're going to grow regardless of any type of stimulus, regardless of any type of workout that you do. Hell, cardio might even help you build muscle. You just do like 10 push-ups, you're already like there. You're already halfway there. I'm just kidding. But just something to know that if you're naturally skinny, your appetite's going to be naturally low. So it's going to feel that you're eating a lot, but you're not really tracking anything. If we don't track, then we don't know, right? Just like how you spend your money without tracking your financial budget. You don't really know. And the thing is, it's going to feel really hard at first trying to get all these calories in, but you got to develop certain habits. You got to develop, in the morning, this is what you're going to eat. You got to set it up. Newton's first law of motion indicates that an object at rest will stay at rest. And an object in motion will stay in motion unless acted upon a force, right? So it's going to feel really hard at first. What I mean by that is the inertia of starting all of this and trying to put this all together is take small steps. It's going to feel really hard at first. Breaking old habits will feel really hard at first, and implementing new ones is going to take some time. It's going to require some struggle. It's going to be like a tug of war with your old identity battling with your new identity. And some quick tips on how to get more calories in is you just simply select foods that have more calories that you eat. Cashews, nuts, avocado. If you don't like avocado, whole milk, and then eat some oats. Constantly try new things in order to up your calories, but you don't want to eat like complete shit. You don't want to eat mainly processed foods. You don't want to go to fast food, eat Raising Canes, and say, I'm hitting my calories, I'm bulking. Because that's not the way either. That's how you get fat. That is how you get fat. That is not how you get a great physique, or the physique that you want to get lean and muscular. So for me, I eat about 85% clean and 15% I eat whatever I want. And that's what I can eat on the weekends. I can eat pizza because I know how to manage myself. And obviously my metabolism is different because I've spent years building the muscle mass, and muscle mass helps you burn more calories. Not a lot, but just enough to help maintain higher. You naturally have a higher maintenance calorie range compared to if you didn't have muscle, right? And then the last thing is you want to be able to track your progression and listen weight. And this is the problem I see with most skinny people who plateau is they don't really know what the hell they're doing every time they go in the gym. They just throw up a YouTube or a structure that their friend gave them, and they continue working out for like a few months. It works initially a little bit. They see some progress and then they stop because they stop really trying to push themselves. They stop trying to get uncomfortable and push and lift with intensity in the gym. Like if it feels like you left the workout, like, hey, that was okay. Like I broke a little sweat. You're not trying hard enough, okay? You got to really push yourself. Like for example, progression also doesn't just mean adding weight to the bar every session, every week. And that's why we see these stupid little doofuses injuring themselves. And then they complain like, I was lifting heavier. Like I'm PRing almost every week. And then I stop because it just got boring, or 2, my joints hurt because they don't know how to lift properly. They don't know how to progressively overload. And then they give up because they rushed the journey. Like I know somebody from my school, from my college that, they just got tired of lifting weights because they relied on the number. They were just so focused on progressing on their lifts. They didn't take their time with honestly, bodybuilding to an extent is an art. Obviously, this video isn't about bodybuilding. It's about you solving a problem. And it's getting into the best shape of your life, right? So progression doesn't always mean adding weight to the bar. It could mean how many reps in reserve that you have. Like if you hit, let's say your bench press 6 to 10, you're lifting 135 pounds for 1 week, and let's say you were able to hit 10. So for the next week, you would up it. And if you felt like you could have lifted more, so this is what I mean. So if you felt that you had only 1 rep in reserve for that first week and you hit 10, the next week, you're going to do it again. You're going to hit the same 10, but you felt like you could have done 2 more reps in reserve. That is progressive overload. That is you getting stronger, and that might not manifest through your muscles right away, but it sure is your nervous system adapting. So maybe if you want to push it, then maybe for the following week, you do 140 instead of 135. But you're only going to do it for that first set. So let's say you had 3 sets and you're doing all 135. You would change that first set to 140 so that you lift a little heavier on that first set, and then the rest you bring it back, you drop it back so that you're not adding more load to your joints, and it allows your body to adapt over time. Because if it meant adding the bar, like adding weight to the bar every session or every week, it just means that you would be benching, you and I would be benching or curling over 400 pounds after a year. That's physically impossible, right? And that's just not how human physiology, that's just not how reality works. Okay, that was a lot. But if you combine all these 3 things that I told you in this video, and you do your own little research, you're going to get lean and muscular in no time. Because 1, you're not getting super fat through your eating. You're eating controlled, you're tracking your calories, and you're measuring yourself. You're measuring your weight too. Make sure you weigh yourself on the scale daily so that you can measure the weekly trends to see if you're trending up slowly. If you're gaining more than 1 or 2 pounds a week, I would say that's a little bit much. I'd say like closer to 0.5 or 1 pound per week is plenty, or every 2 weeks even. But just make sure you'll know, because your lifts are going up too if you're doing this properly, and you're making sure you're hitting your biomarkers like sleep, stress, things like that, consistency. And that is what I would give to myself if Will Smith just walked up to me while I was going to the grocery store trying to go to Sprouts and I got my memory wiped. Okay, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys are looking for a specific implementation, just again go on my Instagram, watch my content, watch my stories. But if you need specific implementation, one-on-one coaching, reach out to me on Instagram. I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay.